Hi, you guys. So I have been getting a lot of repeat questions. I think that kind of stem from anxiety. And that is April 8th correct? What is Nissan 10? Like it's all around the same date and people trying to like pin their hopes to a specific date. And how do we know this for sure? And it's like different variations of the same question. I just got one about the moon phases and all of that. And I appreciate that people are interested. I appreciate that I've gotten a whole lot of new subscribers recently who are just learning some of my content. But I think we have to be aware that the more detailed you try to get, the more you try to pin this down to like a specific second of the day, the more you're going to make yourself anxious. You're going to like literally just breed anxiety. I think we need to just take a step back, just take a deep breath, and just realize that it's going to be okay, and that's only a couple of months away. It's all going to be fine. We don't need to have every single second planned out. It's impossible to do that. The Nissan 10 date for this year is April 8th. That's not going to change. You don't need to keep asking or keep trying to validate. I know that there is some concern or question that has come up about this 364-day Dead Sea Scroll calendar. That is not a calendar that is viable for use unless you've been using it all along. It's interesting about 32 AD, which is the year that Jesus was crucified, and apparently that's in there. I don't know because I haven't looked it up. And apparently it points to 2025 as a Jubilee year also. Great. But it's a system of counting that is completely departed from what anyone would be used to or would recognize how it works. So people trying to just use that date without having used it all along, you can't just say, we're going to start with the Hebrew calendar and then we're going to end at the Dead Sea Scroll calendar. There is a whole bunch of missing conversion along the way for you to be able to just pick up and start using that calendar, which would put whatever new cycle or period of time mid-March. Guys, you can't do that. If you're going to use the Hebrew dates, the Nissan one established head of the year based on the way that it's supposed to be counted, which is with the new moon phase, that's how it's counted. Nissan 10 is April 8th. That's not going to change. I think that people are great to be interested in extra biblical stuff because that's cool. You can do whatever you'd like. But to try to just move into using that calendar when you haven't been using it all along and how you have no method of converting your data and just say, oh, all of a sudden we're going to start using this and so this is the date. Well, it's actually not. It's actually not. March 30th, I believe, is when the month Nissan starts this year. And so Nissan 10 would be April 8th. That's not going to change. It doesn't matter if there's an interesting calendar out there, cool. There's like maybe 14 interesting calendars out there. What makes that one any more special or better or different than a different one? You can't just start picking up midway and start saying, oh, I'm going to use this calendar now. If you haven't done conversion, you can't do that. And so the closer we get, the more anxious people are getting. And I do understand that wholeheartedly. I've known this for a period of years. I've made my peace with it. My anxiety departed a long time ago, if I ever was. But I've never really been anxious about this. I guess it's cool to see how things are lining up. But what I'm feeling from you guys is a level of anxiety that's driving your questions. Kind of like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And so I'm trying to calm that down. I'm trying to, get everybody to take a step back for 2 seconds and just breathe. Just breathe. It's all correct. It's going to be fine. If this is the year, April 8th would be the Nissan 10 date, and that would be when the 70th week commences. And so the rapture would be on or before that date. Also, please note that I do not talk about the timing of the rapture here. Don't conflate those things. I talk about the start of the 70th week, which is Nissan 10 of the 70th Jubilee year, and if 1406, then 2025. So I'm getting a lot of repeat questions, and I just kind of wanted to calm people down. It's like, take a step back, settle down, breathe. It's all going to be fine. I know a lot of you are just coming into this and you're super excited and you're like, I totally get it. It's like, are you sure? Are you sure? And that's cool, but it's okay. It's going to be fine. We're not that far away. People who think this March date, for whatever reason, that's next month, so that'll be proven right or wrong. We're still going to be here after that. It's interesting, cool, but it's not viable for the Gregorian to Hebrew calendar conversion. It's just not a viable calendar. So is it interesting? Sure. Do I care about it? Not even a little. I certainly don't talk about it beyond when people bring it up and kind of force me in a position to have to address it. But I just kind of want to make sure that we're stable, we're calm, we're peaceful. Anxiety is not what we're going for. So if this information is making you anxious, then I would encourage you to step back from it, because that's not the intent, that's not the goal, and we're not trying to use every single second to try to talk ourselves out of it, because that's kind of where that leads to, is people get anxious about it and then they find ways for it to not be true, or they borrow trouble and hypotheticals. Well, what if this, or what if this, or what's your backup plan, what's your plan B? This anxiety breeds dissension, and it manifests in different ways. Some of it's passive, some of it's active, but it all comes back to me, and I'm put in a position where I have to deal with it. So I'm just making a video and I'm like, okay, slow your roll, folks. Slow your roll. April 8th would be the date for Nissan 10, and that would be this year if 1406. That is not tied to the rapture specifically. It's tied to the start of the 70th week. So I just want to make sure that we're not working ourselves up here. Like, it's cool to be excited, but there is a fine line between excitement and anxiety. And my goal for you guys is to be educated and excited about the content, excited about learning about Jesus, but never to the point of anxiety. So if that's what this is causing, then I would encourage you guys to take a step back and maybe just go do something else and get your mind off of it. And come back when you're more clear-headed and you're not going to find ways to talk yourself out of it or need reassurance quite often. Like, did it change? Are we sure we have it right? Yes, we're sure we have it right.